What's up, guys? I'm Scramble Miner here, and today we are doing What If the World Civilization Started Over. But before anybody comes after me, no, I'm not trying to copy directly off of what Adis Pro is doing in his series. So yeah, we're gonna get as far away from his starting point in Arabia, and we are going to go to, I think, South Africa. But anyway. Humans start to evolve and eventually form a country over here, and we are going to call it the First South. We're gonna call it the First Southwest Tribe, and it is trying its best not to do. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm talking about. But it expands a bit, and yeah, it literally expands. It has basics like, I'm not gonna say caveman, but I'm not gonna say medieval stuff. But a bit after this formation, a country over here forms, which are which are people from that other country that don't want to be part of that country. And we're gonna call it the North-South African Republic. It expands a little bit after its formation in the take of like 10 months or 2 months. And another country over here forms called the Red-Winged Republic. Before it gets completely shut down by the first Southwest Tribe, it expands just barely enough to get out of its grip. And oh my god. And eventually, yeah, people start to recognize those expansions. But then another country forms over here, and we're gonna call it the China of South Africa. I'm just gonna figure out what I'm gonna make the shape, and yeah, we're just gonna do it like this. But we're gonna call it the Social Republic of South Africa. A lot of South Africa is going to be said today. But while this happens, this place kind of wants to start expanding, so they prepare and send people out into near the first Southwest tribes, or the first South African tribes. And they get really close to bordering, and yeah. Eventually, this country expands a bit more with enough time. They start expanding. It's not much, but it is tribal times, like in the 100s. But eventually, another country over here forms, and it is called the Southern Republic of Africa, or the Republic of Africa, because they don't believe that this is South Africa. They believe that this is really North Africa. But they are a democratic country and don't really like the ways that the Social Republic of South Africa is doing their stuff. So they expand a little bit. Wow, these borders look like Yemen. But we're gonna ignore that. Oh wait, no. More like Somaliland. But anyway, Um, there have been multiple revolts in that yellow country, but they have mostly failed. And yeah. Eventually, an alliance forms between these two countries because the blue country wants them dead. And it is going to be the Orange Alliance, but oh, never mind. But they are an alliance, so I'll put that in the description. You guys could recommend what you want in the comments for the next video, but anyway. The people of the Democratic Africa decide to, or realize that both exist, and they make a little colony over there, over in this part of Africa. And they realize that Africa is connected, and they try to connect the land masses, or like the country areas. But that, I don't know what I'm saying anymore because I'm stupid. But anyway, these countries connect in time. I don't know what I'm saying. These areas connect. And yeah. Eventually, the revolts in the Social Republic of South Africa start to get a little bit out of hand, but the blue country decides to scrap all of their ideas of trying to take over the red country away and decide to join them in an alliance. But when this happens, the Social Republic of Africa has a civil war between democratic and socialism. The socialists get pushed back by the democrats, and it takes a while for them to actually make notice, but eventually they do start to make a bit of an area that they could call their area. But it takes a bit more fighting. Eventually, all of the army of the socialist country is crushed, and the democratic country wins. As this happens, the puppet state of the other democratic country expands via the main controller of it, and yeah, they expand. Things are happy, and yeah. However, these guys end up being the first country, or the red country ends up being the first country to border more than one country. And they're really happy about this because this would be a goal in their future if they live to see that day. They will probably be celebrating. Who knows? And yeah. Most of South Africa is getting a bit cramped, but oh well. Eventually, people from the orange country decide to see if there's area over more east. Apparently there is. And there is like 4 different countries. All of them, except for like 2, decide to go what China's doing. And by that I mean communist. But these guys realize that they exist and they are afraid of them. So the orange country decides to start expanding in towards the countries that have just been discovered. They have been around for some time, but nobody really knew. But anyway, these guys are getting a rebranding, and they are now called the United States of South Africa. which is a America reference. But that means the puppet state will also be getting rebranded with a more light blue color. No, don't paint Africa blue. But yeah. Yeah. These guys are happy about this. And the new Democratic Republic expands and eventually borders both of these nations. Both the old Democratic Republic and the new one. And they take some land from the United States of Africa, not knowing they're democratic, but they don't really care. And we're just gonna call this area, but another country over here forms via, the pink country's rebels. And it is kind of the Switzerland of this new world. Doesn't really care for people, but it doesn't really want to get invaded by people either. We're just gonna call it the Switzerland of Africa. But the dark blue country decides to expand a little bit along with the light blue. All of them really expand, but yeah. After they expand, they look like this, which honestly starts to kind of make them more powerful. I'm pretty sure the biggest country is the oldest Democratic Republic, but a new country in Madagascar forms, and it's called the Penguin Republic because Madagascar, penguins, all of that. But yeah, they form. Everybody's chill about it. And yeah, they exist now. But yeah. If you want to know what app I'm using, it's called MapChart. It is on iOS, Android, Chromebook, and I'm pretty sure more. And I'm using IDIS to paint the video. The map chart is only for the map that I'm using, but I did the map by myself because I couldn't find a borderless version of it. But yeah, eventually people from the democratic country expands, eventually bordering the dark blue country, or a new country forms. And it's chill. They're called South Africa. Can't place my tongue on it. And this, Slovenia 2. We're just gonna call them Slovenia 2. Because I don't like making names. Yes, Slovenia 2. But South Africa is basically all occupied now. Sorry, I dropped my thing. But yeah, they're all occupied. Or mostly all of the coast is basically occupied, besides a little strip. But after a few years, people start to realize that boats could go a bit farther, and yeah, rebels from the purple country decide to find their perfect area in this area. I don't know what it's called. After passing most of the Sahara Desert, which almost kills all of them, but there's 5 that survive. But yeah, they only take this area because it borders the ocean. An ocean equal good. And yeah, there is a lot more countries over in that area. like New Yemen, which believes that hundreds of years ago there used to be 196 countries in the world, and one of them was called Yemen, right next, or right in the place of where New Yemen is placed. I can't place my tongue on it, but that feels pretty real. Anyway, yeah, New Yemen wants to reform the borders of what they believe was Yemen, which was like a box, and also Qatar, modern day Qatar becomes existent, and they believe the exact same thing as Yemen, and they call themselves the New Order of Qatar. Anyway, they don't know what boats are, and expand into what is now modern day Iran. They make a puppet state out of that. And honestly, it seems pretty on course. The world is happy. Madagascar ended up getting most of Madagascar. Or the Penguin Republic ended up getting most of Madagascar, except for one tiny problem that another country formed about 200 years ago. It was like the seventh country in the world, and it controlled most of Madagascar. They were located at the tip, but expanded. But yeah. So, anyway, more and more expansions are going to be happening soon. And yeah, Madagascar, two Madagascars are happy. The other one is called Northern Madagascar. Yeah. The blue country decides to unite with most of all of the original, like two of the three of the five countries that, or five, yeah, four of the five, or two of the three countries that formed out of that, or like, no, four, I don't care. But yeah, you guys know how to do math. The red country expands, which is really good. Most of the other countries expand too. I'll show you what the borders look like after. After the matter of 2 years, this South Africa officially has no more coast. A tiny yellow country emerged. And yeah, let's see what happened in Arabia between these 2 years. Ew. So yeah, a few countries emerged, at least three. A Cyprus country, the Somali Republic, New Yemen expanded, the Qatarian Empire expanded, or New Qatar expanded, the puppet Iran expanded, the Iranian federal government formed, another new country formed called the United Arab Republic. Yeah. But now things take a turn. This is where stuff really gets juicy. This area finds out what explosives are. Especially this area. And they eventually start to expand more towards modern day Cairo. And yeah, the world is looking good. Until it's not. Because a state out of modern day Greece forms. JK. But for real. A country out of Corsica, Monaco, parts of modern-day France, Italy, and Italy form. Or it's been there for like 400 years. But yeah, not many people live in this country, but it exists. It's a thing. And yeah, more countries. But Sicily starts to do its own thing from rebels from the Corsican Empire. That's what we're gonna call that country. And yeah, down in Arabia, in near Somalia, people realize that, or people from North Madagascar actually find out that the Somalian area exists and land there, making a new empire, or making a new republic. And yeah, it's chill. They call themselves the Somali Democratic Republic. And yeah, let's see what Northern Africa looks like, or Southern Africa looks like now. Border change again. 4 countries have formed out of modern-day Nambia, I think. My geography is correct. And they kind of expand. The other one doesn't want to get completely clobbered, so they make a little boat ramp over there. And honestly, I'm pretty sure the biggest country by far is either the dark blue country or the light blue country. But they're both democratic, so whatever. And I'm pretty sure the light blue borders the most countries because the puppet state is no longer a puppet state. They're a real country. Yeah. They border the new empire of South Africa. They border Democratic Republic of Africa. And they actually got sea access and independence, which leads to an alliance. And yeah. Everything's pretty good. But, people start to realize what boats are, and mostly over in, yeah. They start to realize what boats are. And they realize that they could go way farther if built correctly. So, people start to abuse this. Or at least the people in that area. The green country ends up moving over into modern-day India, which is rich with spices, I'm pretty sure. And fruits, new fruits and stuff. And they are having a blast. But the light blue country doesn't want to get left out of this, so they decide to expand over towards the sea. Because who doesn't want to enjoy spices? But once they do this, they go completely ham on Southeast Asia. They get parts of what the Ottomans claimed in modern-day Indonesia. They get parts of, I think, Thailand and Malaysia. Especially more parts of Indonesia. And yeah, they are looking pretty powerful now. And yeah, anyway, New Yemen expands into more of Yemen, modern day Yemen. Or no, this is the dark blue country. What am I talking about? Yeah, they find out that that country exists. And people recognize that Indonesia and Thailand most of Thailand is part of light blue country. But the first democratic country decides to take over Sri Lanka. And things are looking pretty happy. I've said that like 14 different times. Please help. Yeah. There is a puppet state released in Sri Lanka named the United States of New Asia, or the state of New Asia, or just Asia. And yeah, they're starting to lean in towards what the pink country believes in. Yeah. Another country, or wait, we're gonna change the color of that real quick, but people start to realize that this area is filled with lots of, god dang it, most of the northern area just expanded. There's new Ottoman state. You can't really see it, but it exists. And a Greek state appears. And they 100% believe what New Yemen believes. And the Ottoman state exists now. The Greek state controls that. Rome is established in the year 502. 502 AD, that is. And the Corsican Empire expands. Let's hope no short person from France or from Corsica is born there. Napoleon reference. But yeah, New Yemen expanded. Hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe. Peace.